Hello, Ralphs. We're back with Glenda by Janice May Udry. This is Chapter 11, The Fire Alarm. All the leaves were gone from the trees, and the days grew colder. The children began wearing their winter coats, and the janitor fired up the school furnace. One Friday afternoon, Miss Willows said that it was time to begin making Christmas presents. She brought out a large bag of clay for them to make paperweight animals. "This is very successful," said Miss Willow, after they had been working for a while. "This is a very good, lifelike squirrel, Marcia." "Thank you," murmured Marcia, taking back her successful squirrel after Miss Willow had held it up for the class to see. Glenda glared at the squirrel. She had tried to make a cat, but it looked more like a pickle with little pointed ears. She knew that at home she could have made a perfect little clay animal by using magic. Glenda had depended on magic all her life. "I wish Marcia's squirrel would crack," thought Glenda. "I wish it would fall apart." On Monday, after Miss Willow's class had finished painting the clay animals, they put them on the long shelf under the windows to dry. Marcia's squirrel and Glenda's cat were side by side. Miss Willow gave a note to Glenda and asked her to take it to the principal's office. While she was gone, the fire alarm began to ring. "Fire!" someone shouted down the hall. Some of the girls squealed. The boys jumped out of their seats to look out the windows and the door. "Be calm, children," said Miss Willow. "Remember our fire drill instructions. John, you are fire drill captain." All up and down the hall, doors were opened and children marched down the halls. Miss Willow's children formed a line behind John and pressed against each other. The fire alarm continued to clang loudly. Miss Willow counted the children as they filed out the door, stepping on each other's heels. Glenda appeared around the corner. "Oh, there you are," said Miss Willow. "Get in line, quickly, Glenda." "I forgot something," Glenda murmured, and dashed into the room. "Glenda!" shouted Miss Willow. Glenda reappeared with her coat. "We never stop for coats," said Miss Willow. "Hurry, Glenda!" Glenda ran to catch up at the end of her line. The children were very excited to see that the fire truck was really there. "It must be a real fire. It's not just a fire drill," someone shouted. The firemen went into the school while all the children and teachers shivered in the cold air. "Who set off the alarm? Where's the smoke?" No one knew who had set off the alarm beside the door to the principal's office, and there was no sign of smoke. Finally, after everyone was blue with cold, one of the firemen came and said that there was no fire. "It's a false alarm," he said. "You may all go back to your classrooms." Everyone was so cold they were in just as much of a hurry to go back in as they had been to get out, all except Glenda, who was smugly wearing her coat. Fire captain's not happy. It was the end of the day, so the children put away their books and went home, talking about the false alarm and what the principal would do if she ever found out who had done it. It wasn't until the next morning that Marcia found her little squirrel smashed on the floor. Miss Willow was very sympathetic. She said that no doubt someone had knocked it off accidentally in the excitement the day before. "I'll give you free time today to make another one," she said. While Marcia was working on a new squirrel, Glenda had to get a dictionary from the cupboard near where Marcia was working. "There's something funny going on around here," Marcia said to her quietly. "Only it's not funny. Somebody in this room is acting like a witch." Something in Glenda's face had suddenly made her think of the word. Glenda dropped the dictionary with a loud bang. "Shut up," she said to Marcia under her breath as she went to pick up the book. "I won't shut up," said Marcia, "and from now on I'll be watching you all the time. I even bet you're the one who turned in the false fire alarm." Glenda gave her a mixed look of hate and fear and returned to her seat. "She spoils everything," Glenda fumed. She was even more furious when she saw Karen stop beside Marcia as she worked. They hadn't really been friends since the time when they had both wanted to be the princess in the play. "It's a shame your squirrel was broken," Karen said. "It was awfully good." "Thanks," said Marcia warmly. "Your polar bear is good, too." "Can you go to the show with me tomorrow afternoon?" asked Karen. "I think so," said Marcia. "I'll ask. Let's invite Dorothy, too." "Okay." "Okay?" "Sure," said Karen. That's the end of chapter 11. One more to go. Woo!